Hey guys, in today's session I want to go through everything there is to know about Tradify and setting up not only the way the Tradify assistants and the guys on the Tradify team help set it up, but set it up for your business so that it actually works the way we want it to. Now this is specifically for subcontractors that are working for builders, and that's really where the most power comes in for Tradify. That's really its best use. So there are some other platforms, there's your Simpros, your ServiceMates, and those kind of things that serve their own purpose. But for us as subcontractors working for builders, we really want to know how to unlock the power of Tradify. We want to be able to set up and do our settings properly so that we hit the ground running from the get-go. And I'm also going to run through some setup for our quote templates, our job templates, and then also how we should be tracking some KPIs in here as well. So this first video, I'm going to help us get set up and orientated. In the next ones, I'm going to go through our settings, and then we're going to filter our way through in more specific tutorial-based sessions. So you'll see I'm going to do a lot of screen sharing here so that you can pause, we can walk through together, and you can implement as we go. So I'd recommend having this video open, also log into Tradify and get prepared. But let's have a little bit of a walkthrough of Tradify. So at the moment, we are sitting here in our dashboard, and on the left-hand column is really where we have our different pages or different areas. So we have our jobs, and eventually this will be propagated full of your jobs. We have our scheduler, and the scheduler's got a couple views in here as well. You can look at today. You can also jump across to a vertical versus horizontal view, and then you can also look in week view. I tend to like to look at weekdays just because it makes it a little bit larger, and by the time you have multiple staff members that are lined up in here, it does get quite chaotic. Now, for those of you who are running, let's say 5 people or less, this vertical view is going to be really handy. This horizontal view is going to be really handy. For those who are running more than 5 team members, I recommend going in the vertical stack. That way you can have all team members run down the side, and you know exactly how many team members you can pull in. Now, I've ran upwards of 60 people, 60 staff members through a single Tradify login. The reason I pause there is because for our structure around the country, for the build clean companies, each entity has its own Tradify setup so that we don't have staff members from other areas or other locations being brought into the mix. So Tradify is powerful enough to run 60, 70, 100 staff, but this vertical view is going to be really handy. Now, a big area for you as the managing director is in the sales and the quotes area. So the quotes is going to be a really powerful component for you. And we want to now migrate away from using our quoting out of Xero into quoting out of Tradify so that when a quote is accepted, we don't have any manual entry or double entry. It just carries straight over to a job, and then we can schedule that in nice and quickly. On our invoices section here, I do still recommend creating our invoices. So a job is completed. We prepare the invoice in Tradify as a draft, and then we push it to Xero for finalization by either yourself or your accounts team. I just think that's a really good housekeeping component. Instead of sending invoices directly out of Tradify, yes, it's still linked with Xero, but I do like this final check over piece where we have closed out the job, we've prepared a draft invoice, and we shoot it over to Xero for finalization and sending to the client from there. That also helps us track our accounts receivable in Xero and our accounts days as well. So it's just a little bit of good housekeeping there to push the final financial components back into our accounting software. We've got our contacts here, customers, suppliers, and connections. And there's also a few extra tabs. You can leverage, if you don't use a CRM, you can leverage the inquiries page. Team timesheets are in here as well. We've got purchases. The map's quite pointless. Pardon me. The map doesn't really help us with much. And then we've got some reports as well, which we will get to. If you don't have a website, you can leverage some of Tradify's options, but I would recommend just avoiding that. Tradify's best power is to go from quote to job completion. I wouldn't recommend using it for the website. I would stick to a WordPress website. That way you have full control over customization there. And then we're going to, in the next video, get into our settings. But I hope this gives you just a good run through of the basic navigation or the orientation of Tradify. And we'll talk about what our jobs today and jobs tomorrow mean. We'll talk about how to prepare our quote templates, prepare our job templates, and yeah, we're going to really unpack the settings in the next video. So stay tuned for that one.